Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. On our way to 50K, boys. Let's go. Light work. Okay, so Swedish Sniper and Canadian Captain are out of the active lineup. Wildcard bench phzy and Stanislaw. Wildcard have announced that they benched them, and they've been on the team since July 2024, and he came in with susp. Came into a bit of surprise being benched. Obviously not what I wanted, and I respect the org's decision. phzy's posted on X. Basically, for those of you that aren't keeping up, Wildcard performed really well in Shanghai Major. Everybody at the start of 2025 thought that they were going to hopefully continue that trend, and they honestly kind of got worse. They really didn't do that great to start the year. They had Stewie stand in to basically make sure that they didn't get by the rules and get marked as EU. Some people didn't like that. Some people are upset. I don't know. I don't think they should have been marked as an EU team either way, but that's just my opinion. So it is what it is. You could not like that, though. That's totally valid. This major run looked bad. Like, they just didn't look great. Ports and linked teams with the addition of Peeping, which led to the lack of trust from Sonic, as he's one of the players supposedly on the chopping block. Yeah, this just seems like full, like, bro, when you saw shit like, you don't know if you can trust the people around you. Who say you can trust, it just creates like a really bad team environment. Everybody might not even hate each other, but it does just leave like this idea that like you're gonna be around people for more time than your family in a competitive environment, and like have things like this in the team exist and have the team perform well, is you're delusional. Professionalism be damned. Like, you can't just like take that out of your head and be like, oh yeah, all good, like this is going great, things are great, we should keep doing things this way. Yeah, it just leads to a bad team environment that even if people like still get along, it's like there, you know what I mean? It's just present. phzy's bench comes as a surprise because he's the highest rated player at 1.14. Stanislaw's moved to the bench, leaves the team in dire straits without a veteran captain at the helm. The Canadian game leader was bringing in Wildcard up the ranks and molding inexperienced talents like Jaba, providing tactics that were key in several upset victories. On Friday, he made the surprise announcement that he's open to exploring options outside of Wildcard, including a move to Europe or a transition to coaching. And then he also tweeted that it was basically a surprise to him, and that, or hold on, let me just pull it up. Devastating, invested almost 2 years in this project, and for it to end the way is heartbreaking. That's esports. I wanted to rebuild my way, but management had different ideas. I'm not finished with competing, especially when I was so close to being back at the top. So yeah, not what I thought was going to happen at all. I mean, it was immediately, there was kind of a what the fuck is going on when Stanislaw tweeted that he's basically exploring options, because that was kind of like, why is he exploring options? And then it was like the doomsday clock type scenario with Wildcard. I don't know what they have planned or cooking. You know, somebody just linked this to Wildcard moves Stanislaw and phzy to the bench, and then where is it? Port at the beginning. Oh, it still is that their plans is to replace Sonic with Peeping. Supposedly, we'll see. Let's just say that's true. They would lose all their VRS points. So, or not all, but they would take a significant hit to their VRS to get Peeping if they were replacing Sonic now at this point with Peeping. So that'd be quite the setback. And maybe, I don't want to be like $2,000, but this just seems dumb as hell if that's what they're doing. Dropping your IGL, dropping your high rated opera, and then also tanking your VRS points, borderline without context and without knowing who they're signing, sounds like they're actually actively trying to kill their roster. Like, without knowing who they're bringing in yet, you know, just from that standpoint alone, if I just say VRS, IGL, Star Op, that was their best player, that literally sounds like you're trying to just kill the roster. Like, this seems like some Sabres shit in NHL. This is crazy. This is unbelievable. Sorry, Sabres fans. Fuck me, man. And what are they going to do? They got to be like, they have to get what? 2 NA players now? Now they have to get an NA opera and an NA IGL to stay in the Americas if they want that, or they take their chances in EU. That seems dumb as fuck. I don't know. We have to wait and see who they're getting. I mean, I think Peeping is a good player, but if you're replacing Sonic to torture VRS, and we're not even at the Opera and IGL stage yet, seems kind of nuts. I do think phzy had his fair share of like drawbacks, especially in really big games. I personally felt like phzy was like, either he was the guy taking over the game single-handedly or the guy losing the game single-handedly. It was a little bit too much. And on the other side of it, I do feel like Stan's calling, especially against the better tier teams. Like, the better the team, I felt like the better his calling. Even if the rounds didn't work out the way that you wanted to, it usually was less from like it didn't always seem like a bad round tactically as much as just like a bad individual moment, like trades or like spacing, like little things. So I can't wait to see who they're going to announce, because this just seems really bad. It just seems really, really, really bad, and doesn't make a lot of sense without knowing who they're picking up. I can't imagine who they're picking up that would make this look better. if Sonic does get benched, does the bench core just stick together? What, like phzy, Stan, and Sonic? Maybe, but it's kind of a weird one where they're going to end up regionally. They probably would want an org. I can't imagine these guys are going to just play like orgless. I can't imagine that scenario happening. Plus, I also think phzy would probably get picked up, and I think people would be interested in talking with Stan. I think if you're a North American team right now, you'd be dumb to at least not explore the idea of signing Stan. I think he's absolutely earned that conversation at the very least, so I don't know. That's usually what blows up plans of like players sticking together after the fact is like, especially when it doesn't make sense. Usually that's because players are good enough to get offers afterwards. Usually one guy just gets plucked, you know? Somebody gets plucked and it just kind of erodes immediately. I don't know, man. This is just a head scratcher. I wish I had more to add into this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know of a few potential roster moves, I think, but they don't line up now with what has been released. So I don't actually want to go down that rabbit hole. The things I heard at the major with Wildcard, because there were a lot of rumors floating around with the Wildcard, because Wildcard had a booth. Or had a suite. So there was a lot of talks going on around the wild card team in situation. And let me just say this. This is not it. This is not what I heard. So not exactly anyway. So I don't know what they're doing actually. I don't know what the fuck's happening. It doesn't seem good though. You're dropping your best player who was the op. Maybe you're getting a better one. You're dropping your fucking IGL that looked like he was calling quite well. And you're rumored to be dropping Sonic and then tanking your VRS. I don't know. It's really hard to see how this is going to be good. It's really, really hard, but we'll wait and see.